Hi everyone, welcome back to your Zoria Sacred Astrology Cosmic Updates. Although this channel is dedicated to significant Venus transits in honor of my patron goddess of astrology, the Ukrainian Venusian goddess of the evening star, Zoria, this beginning of 2022 has several cosmic events that are going to influence Venus in big ways. I've already given you the main themes for the year in my past videos, particularly involving the two benefic planets, Jupiter and Venus, who are ruling the themes for this year. Nevertheless, other planetary transits will have a marked influence on how things move along, especially since we have so many planets currently in Capricorn this beginning of 2022. Let's start with the infamous Mercury retrograde. Moving back to Aquarius tomorrow, January 14 until January 26, and on January 26, it changes sign again and moves into Capricorn, where we have the Sun and Saturn in a conjunction in Aquarius, together in a conjunction with Mercury in retrograde, which is at 29 degrees, and Pluto, both in Capricorn. With Venus still in retrograde in Capricorn as it forms a friendly sextile to Jupiter, powerful in the sign it traditionally rules in Pisces, while its modern ruler, Neptune, is in Pisces as well. This Venus-Jupiter aspect may be the only saving grace in this intense mix of heavy planets as we kick off the year. The next planetary concoction happens on January 29, and this has Venus about to turn direct, marking another very crucial moment as Mercury and Pluto in Capricorn are also in an exact conjunction in Capricorn, which lends this time an air of coldness, cruelty if not careful, and deception, as Saturn, who is ruling both Aquarius and Capricorn, is the main energy working through these intense love, money, communication, and transformative planetary conjunctions. What Saturn demands is that we address issues from a calm, cool, and matured perspective. Choose your words wisely. Don't rock the boat. Stay humble. Don't force your point of view on someone or anyone, especially loved ones and romantic partners, and try to address any issues at a later date when the cosmic energies lighten up. Despite Jupiter, Neptune in Pisces, the sextile aspect to Venus on 29th has separated, and therefore we are not protected in love and money matters by the giver of blessings and all good things. There's nothing to be afraid of. Most people are fearful of Saturn because it brings hardships, delays, and tough lessons. What isn't common knowledge about Saturn is that the changes it brings and the hardships or delays are all being set up to stabilize your future. Anything that falls away will be transformed into something that supports your karma and destiny. You only need to learn to accept, be patient, be matured, and work with the lessons that are being brought to your attention whenever Saturn rules the skies. Simultaneously, as if that wasn't enough, the moon will also be in Capricorn on the 29th of January in its waning crescent phase at 1 degree. Try not to seek validation from others and trust in your own self-worth. What else could happen in this period as we move forward in 2022? Well, let's first talk about Mercury. The first Mercury retrograde of the year. January begins with Venus retrograde in Capricorn, and communication planet Mercury turns retrograde in Aquarius on the 14th and likewise changes in Capricorn from 26th. Now, on the 24th, the planet Mars also changes to the zodiac sign of Capricorn. This may cause the basic energy for the start of the year to feel a bit slower and more leisurely, almost like chewing gum dragging on. It seems with everything we want to start or finish, we need more time than usual to think, to revise things, to correct, and to reconsider important things. But it's precisely this Capricorn energy that allows us to set all the course for success already in January, especially professionally, through serious, sometimes strict or pedantic, and well-structured work. The first month of the new year 2022, January, is also marked by Capricorn energy. On December 21st, the Sun moved into this sign. January began with Venus retrograde in Capricorn, and the communication planet Mercury will be turning retrograde tomorrow, and then changes, like I said, on the 26th to Capricorn. As an animal on the high mountains, Capricorn knows where the weights of life lie, where above and below is. Therefore, he's not easily dazzled, has everything under control. So, Capricorn should not be pushed so easily into the corner of the cold soul. This is one thing to think about, because behind his facade awaits a profundity that is unparalleled and is also present in the original representation of the zodiac sign, which is the sea goat. The sea goat carries all the water. Water represents emotions. In the buttocks, to be more precise, as the goat climbs up the mountain, its emotions are heavy behind him so he can reach his goals. But that doesn't mean that Capricorn has no feelings. Capricorn is just able to set aside its feelings in favor of reaching its goals. Secondly, Capricorn is an absolute workhorse. And this makes him, like his other earth element colleagues, Virgo and Taurus, a zodiac sign that can build up a considerable amount of success and fortune. Optimism and spirituality has Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter in Pisces has been ruling the skies since December 29th. In addition, however, there is a very positive constellation that makes us optimistic in the best case, which also carries the basic energy of the year 2022. Basically, it can be said that with Jupiter in Pisces, the search for a deeper meaning in our lives is activated. Also the search for that one true love, a soulful merging. Especially favored now are all kinds of esoteric and spiritual activities such as meditation, yoga, Reiki, alternative therapies and healing, and so on. Jupiter expands all the areas it touches. This constellation can bring some wonderful gifts to our world. It makes sense, therefore, to focus on creative projects or topics that require imagination and inspiration until May. This energy can help us experience more meaning and move our visions forward in unexpected ways. We may become especially familiar with the planet's energy this year, as Jupiter is considered the astrological ruler of the year. Jupiter, the bringer of all blessings. Keep cool. Communication planet Mercury, as it moves into the sign of Aquarius on January 2, 22 until 26, 21, and turns retrograde from January 14 to Feb 4. Aquarius is about staying neutral for us in our communication and not allowing our feelings or moods to get in the way of truth and clarity. When Mercury is in Aquarius, and there shaping our thinking per se, we see things through a more rational lens than usual. This could give us some aha moments. As you know, Aquarius is the sign of genius. It's also the cosmic mind and the humanitarian. Still, it's a time to approach our most innovative ideas and plans with an eye toward the future. Our dreams and visions are good to revise internally, also to discard, renew things again if something doesn't work anymore in reality and has no potential for stability. A tip would be you must be careful not to think and communicate too coolly or soberly during this transit. Otherwise, you could briefly lose contact with your sensitive side. All the way up, January 2, New Moon in Capricorn, the themes would be about plans, manifestation, visualization. The New Moon in Capricorn is usually at the beginning of a new year. We want to start the new year successfully. However, before manifesting anything, we should therefore have a concrete vision of what we really want. And Capricorns are always oriented towards advancement and strive for more status and success. With the help of this energy, you will certainly find it easier to get to the essence of your deepest desires and to recognize in which areas you want to progress or grow. Basically, Capricorn energy requires structure, so it's important to define your own goals and desires for your subconscious and possibly sort them out with the help of a vision board. The image of one's visions helps in manifesting one's wishes for the new year 2022. Because Jupiter, being the ruler of the skies for the year, is the giver of all blessings and hopes and dreams and desires. What we often forget about this sign of the zodiac, Capricorn, is that although Capricorn has a stubborn head and is very stubborn about his goals, he's always oriented to a solution with heart, soul, and the welfare of the general public. Thus, we can now really align again what for us 2022 is and create our wish lists and vision boards. Then, when Mercury retrogrades in Aquarius mid-month, not only will communication and travel become chaotic, as always, but we can also expect a wave of complications in our lives when it comes to technology, schedules, plans, contracts, trade, which in turn are technically regulated. After all, the sign Aquarius also rules electricity, technology, and the internet in general. So check your Wi-Fis. There may be some glitches. Some apps may not work. Check your banks. Be careful before sending any money out, before signing any contracts as much as possible. Don't buy any new gadgets or any new cars during this time. In fact, this year we are going to experience 4 Mercury retrogrades. Normally, there are only 3 per year. But at the end of the year, on December 28th, right before we end the year, Mercury goes retrograde again. That would be the 4th and last one for 2022. Anyhow, Mercury retrograde in Capricorn from January 26 to February 4 in retrograde can make us clash with others when it comes to difficult topics, strictness, or speechlessness in communication. This transit can be very frustrating and possibly block our communication power in channels like emails, WhatsApp, etc. A tip would be, you should be careful not to be too stubborn to enforce your own point of view. On January 18, the full moon in Cancer. The Cancer full moon on January 18, 2022 brings a spotlight straight to the themes of family, home, love, truth, support, caring, relationships, fears, but also our goals and dreams for 2022. Perhaps our goal is to put unhealthy relationships behind us once and for all. The element of water is associated with Cancer, so Cancerians often find themselves at the mercy of their emotions because of their sensitivity. If the energy stands strongly in the water element, like to the Cancer full moon on January 18th, it is sometimes only small things which let our personal feeling barrel almost overflow. So just then, we look for the environment of very familiar and beneficial people because we feel so attacked and sensitive. So be around people you trust, people that give you that sense of security during this time. The Cancer full moon helps us to realize that we have great potential in the new year 2022 and that it is not necessary to take all unhealthy and energy sapping connections with us in 2022. So have the courage to cut ties. The energy of the sign Cancer supports our intuition, power, and introspection of our emotions. The moon is the reflection of our heart, our desires, our feelings. The moonlight reflects our unconscious and our love. A free wild soul. On January 18th, Uranus becomes direct in Taurus. On August 20, 2021, Uranus, the planetary ruler of Aquarius, the modern ruler, went retrograde in the zodiac sign of Taurus for about 5 months. And to understand this planetary energy, you can also look at the freedom-loving sign Aquarius, which the Sun moves into in January anyway. This is a future-oriented, free spirit in motion and in constant change. Therefore, you may have felt an urgent need to free yourself from constricting situations in the past 4 to 5 months. However, caution was really also advised against hasty decisions and rebellious affectations. Uranus is also known as an explosive renewer, revolutionary, which, if you have not provided enough freedom in your life, sometimes brings quite brutal changes and turns everything upside down, much like the Tower card in the tarot deck. All the more important it is to integrate the Uranus lesson into your own life and to ask yourself, where is your own wild free soul? When Uranus is direct, we open ourselves up to all kinds of change and transformation. This may mean separating from people and situations that no longer serve our highest good. When Uranus goes direct, the universe wants us to face what we recognized in the retrograde phase as important transformational issues in our lives. We may tackle major life changes and not shy away from upheavals. Mars moves into Capricorn on January 24th, giving it this theme, boss vibes. This is a particularly good and auspicious time to be able to focus especially on important, ambitious goals. When the driving planet Mars and the ruler of the sign Aries changes into Capricorn, our ambition can be very high. You may need to tackle something from the root in order to achieve the professional progress you desire. However, it may also be about taking more control in your own business and important crucial roles, basically professionally. The topic of inner security may be in focus as well, and we need to ask ourselves how secure, open close parenthesis, or insecure, we experience our psychological interior. How vulnerable does our soul life appear to us? On January 29th, like I said, Venus in Capricorn goes direct again, and this may be a love comeback. Hopefully, the hard inner work on the topics of love, values, and finances is done for now, and we can finally enjoy our positive transformations and reflections, especially in our love lives. Because on January 29th, at the end of the month, also Venus in the sign Capricorn goes direct. Now, also connections that were lost in love can be re-established. So some people from the past may come back. With Venus in Capricorn, it's about more consistency and security in our relationships and working on the fine structures of love, relationship, and money issues with confidence and trust. Perhaps we've been able to accomplish and structurally change some things here in the past month. And maybe there's more trust in relationships or even financial investment with which one can now plan for the long term. which is because of Venus being in Capricorn. We end the month in a romantic note, so there's some good news. Although a lot of changes may have happened in the area of your goals, dreams, love, and finances, trust that these changes are necessary to begin the year with only those that support your long-term goals and your destiny. A lot of karmic clearing had to be done before we bask under the blessings of Jupiter and Venus. Saturn and Pluto plus Uranus, the three significant transformative planets and revolutionary and evolutionary planets, had to reassess and align our minds, Mercury, desires and emotions, Moon, our motivations and directions, Sun, and our values, Venus, in the sign Capricorn, that doesn't waste its effort on anything that won't stand the test of time. Know for certain that as you move forward in 2022, you are beginning a new phase in your journey, and Saturn is now slowly releasing its grip on us. Hopefully, we have earned good karmic rewards and have grown deeply. Pluto in Capricorn asks for nothing less. And hopefully, we are ready to receive greater blessings, love, passion, and harmony in big, big ways as Jupiter now is in charge of the year ahead. Do the work Saturn asks of you this month and be ready to receive from Jupiter. If there ever was a time to learn the ancient planetary and astrological practices of Babylonia and Egypt to maximize your ability to co-create with these very powerful transits that will set the tone for how your year will reap benefits in the areas of your goals, love, dreams, and finances, now is the time to sign up for my Zoria Sacred Astrology Retreat. It's much like the difference between having the proper training and gaining the knowledge in, for instance, a game of chess, which would guarantee that you win against your competitors who aren't armed with the skills to win this game. Except this isn't a board game we are talking about. This is the game of life, your life. And many live, let's face it, as victims of circumstances. Whether we realize it or not, the circumstances are dictated by the movement of these celestial bodies. And I can say that with 100% certainty because I have been practicing astrology for so long. To give you an example, just tonight, I ended a reading where I was able to explain precisely how a client's Saturn retrograde put her on the operating table for something involving the head and brain. I was also able to point out why and how she must prepare for the next bout, which has Pluto in a few more years transiting that same planet, Saturn, in that same house. And there are some consequences if she doesn't learn how to work with the transits that are coming, especially a transit like Pluto. All that Saturn has brought her could have been avoided big time if she had the skills that I teach in this retreat. Those of you who are already knowledgeable in meditation are welcome to join this retreat. As for your year ahead forecast, if you're interested in mapping out your year clearly and structuring your plans according to the influences of the astrological transits, you can always just book a reading with me too. But there is a stark difference between merely knowing what is unfolding and having the skills and know-how to work with these transits and reap more rewards from the rulers of the skies this year, Jupiter and Venus. At the same time, I am also opening up astrology courses for Basic Astrology 1 and 2 with Mysterium Philippines. So if you're interested in that, do contact Mysterium Philippines as they are in charge of all registration. So please check out all the contact details below if you are interested in booking a session, joining the retreat, or taking any of the courses of Astrologia Esoterica Academy.